Hello and welcome. Welcome to Top of the World. My name's Simon. Today we start a new project. Hello and welcome. Welcome to Top of the World. My name's Simon and this is the concluding part of this project. Finished. Beautiful compared to what you've just seen. And if you haven't watched the first video, I ask you to go and do it because the rest of this video will make much more sense. There we go. That's the tin back on. Unfortunately, when I got to this end and opened it up, this is also an open ridge. So we're going to have to do the same there as we did here. This is a closed ridge, but I'm still sealing up the ridge, but this is an open ridge, which is no good. And I've got that done just in time. I knew that the rain was going to start somewhere around 12 noon. And albeit the roof was wet when I arrived here, I got up there and got those last two sheets on. Did they match? I had to do a bit of jiggery pokery to get them to match exactly, but they do. So good job done. That sheet there is a slightly different colour. It's not, it's just because it's dirty. And this one here, I don't know why it got so dirty. Anyway, it'll wash off. So that's all screwed and fixed down now. And what's left on this side, paint the ladder and guttering. And now we're going to move to the other side. Hello and welcome back. Welcome to the Arctic. Welcome to part 2 of replacing the roof on the house behind me. If you haven't seen the first one, I encourage you to go and take a look. And just for clarification, because in the first one it wasn't that clear, yes, I'm wearing a harness, and yes, I'm roped on, and yes, I've been working on the cabin up the road for the last 2 days because it's just torrential rain. They say there's going to be no rain today. Doesn't feel like it and doesn't look like it. We've had horrendous storms all night. I've already got all the roof plate, the roof tin up on the small roof here. So I'm ready to take all of this off, get that on, get the ridge done. We've had really bad rain now 3 times since I replaced the ridge, and I'm putting all the sealant in the top. There's no leaks in the house. I've also sealed up round the chimney. There's no leaks in the house. For the first time in years, no water has penetrated. So I found the leaks, I've got the leaks. Let's see if we can replace this whole boiler plate with a new tin now. And we got to pray there's no rain. Boiler plate, the galvanised tin, you can actually walk on that when it's damp and wet. It's the new black stuff I'm putting up. You can't touch it at all. So let's pray that there's going to be no rain today and see how far we get. same as I did on this side, and I went all the way along the ridge with the foam inserts, giving a perfect finish. That pipe's been bothering me for 10 years. It was ridiculous. I couldn't understand why nobody would do anything about it. When I finally got to it 10 years later, it had a rag stuffed in the bottom of it. It wasn't used. It could have just been pulled out and the little patch put over that hole. Anyway, there you go. So that has been causing huge hang-ups and all that ripping the roof and all that water going in for God knows how many years. Is there water ingress into this building? Yeah, I wonder why. Yeah, and that's just the pressure of the ice build-up year after year after year. 8-10 years, and it was broken off. Anyway, am I struggling? Yeah, I am, because that was a hard day, because I wanted to get it finished today. I want to get the gutterings up tomorrow because it's not going to rain tomorrow. There we go. I've unroped, removed all the rope from the chimney. We'll put this big long back gutter on tomorrow. We've got a downpipe there and a downpipe there. We're replacing these downpipes, so I've just left them because there's so many positions of downpipes. I want to remember where they all are. There's no downpipe on this end. And then another downpipe here for that upper level. Like I say, we're replacing these because they're all damaged. On that one there, there's a downpipe, just one downpipe for this porch at the front, and then there's a second downpipe goes there, and that goes round the corner and all the way along. Okay, much better. Now, I am bushwhacked and I'm going to lie down for a while. Right, that's that running outlet in. Now I bought proper pipes. They go all the way from the top, all the way to the bottom with no joins. This one was made up of all these short ones. Not quite sure why. Anyway, the point about this is every winter the downpipe, the running outlet and the guttering on all this side gets ripped off, smashed, destroyed. And the downpipe was on this face here. But the huge amount of snow and ice that pours off of this juncture here, right, every year destroys it. The condition of everything, and now it's so badly damaged, and all of this is ice damage. So I'm actually going to move it, obviously, because it's the most obvious thing to do, to this face. Which means the huge amount of ice and snow that exits this roof here should, well, it will. It won't hold it up. I can't even. I think the downpipe that I took off of here was so destroyed. I'll see if I can find it out. Anyway, so I'm going to put that on that face and not this face, because I know what happens here every single year without fail. And I've got that at a funny old angle this time to see. You can see how much runoff. It don't look good, but it serves a purpose. How much runoff is going to allow the snow and the ice to exit over there without grabbing that running outlet, which is what it does, and then it pulls it off from this end and pulls it that, and then it gets encased with ice, and then you just have to wait till the whole lot comes off. So I don't know how many times I put that back up, but it's been off for the last 3 or 4 years, including the soffit, because anyway, it doesn't matter why, because it just was. Right, let's put that running outlet down there, and then we can do this short one on the front there. That's the guttering finished. Just in time. The thunder is rumbling. There you go. Alright, so all I've got left to do is paint the ladder and pull the scaffolding down. And we're not going to do that today because not only is it too late, we're about to get really wet. Yeah, that's about to drop and there's plenty more coming behind it. So that is all the back concluded. Like I say, whip down the scaffolding and stack up all the old materials. Downpipes are all on. Side is complete. Stack those away. Oh, lovely new downpipes. Not crushed, in the right place. Guttering on the porch. Guttering on the main roof. Beautiful clear main roof. Oh look, we're about to have our first test. Alright, there you go. I'll be back when it's not raining to remove the scaffolding. It's very wet this morning. We had huge storms all night, massive. The lightning knocked out the electric somewhere around 0200 hours. Anyway, it's still raining, but only a little bit, and we have to remove the scaffolding. So I'm kind of hoping that the rain just holds off. Should only take me, I don't know, 45 minutes to get the scaffolding down. So let's get that off the building. The other thing that the big storm last night has allowed me to do is look at all the gutters. Make sure I've got my runs correct, especially this back one, because it empties in two places. One of the ones is in the middle, and you want to kind of set the guttering up so it runs in both directions, but also it's low enough that we have the ice flow over the top of the guttering without ripping it off. Anyway, I've checked all the gutterings this morning and they're all dry. I say dry, they're obviously wet, but I've got my runs right, that's what I'm saying. So as you can see, it's raining. We did all the work yesterday in preparation because I knew it was going to rain today. Lovely clean lines, all the stuff that was on the roof, the pipes, everything's gone. Nice clean finish. So I've got the scaffolding down just in time. As you can see and probably hear. Has it been like this since yesterday afternoon? Oh yeah. Is it going to be like this for weeks? Probably all the way into winter now. So the roof, which is the important part of this project, is now done, and the guttering's done, and the soffits are done, scaffolding's down. Got some really interesting questions on the last video about me building wooden scaffolding and the benefits of all the other types of scaffolding. I build individual wooden scaffolding because I can reuse the screws and reuse the wood, and it's easy for one man to do. Do I know more than I should about metal pole scaffolding, scaffolding towers, scaffolding general? Oh yeah, I know a lot about scaffolding. This is what works for me, and this is why I use it. It's easy up, easy down, I can do it myself, and I don't need to build much scaffolding. However, there are plenty of videos on my channel of huge scaffolding that I've built around my school, around the theatre, taking it down, putting it up, and what it's used for over multiple levels. This was just a simple one. But how clean does it look? So that'll weather in nicely now. As I've explained before, I've changed the position of a lot of the guttering to see if I can avoid less of the ice rip-off over the next few seasons, but only time will tell whether I've got that one right or not. There is a balance between the guttering position for rain and for our minimum 6 months of winter. Sometimes it's 7 months, but certainly 6 months of winter, and the huge snowfalls and ice and everything else that we suffer here. So I've made some compromises that I think works. The guttering certainly works with all this rain. In a huge flash downpour, will the roof just pour the water straight over the top of the gutters? Oh yeah, because they're lower and they're at an angle, and they're done like that for a reason. So that's just part of the compromise. On the whole though, I've checked the gutters this morning and they're all empty, which means I've got my runs right and there's no other problems. This is, and I'll say that categorically, the last big roof I will do in my life. Me and my companies have built hundreds of roofs using every different kind of material imaginable, with the exception of bamboo. Right, the only roof I haven't built is a bamboo roof, but I built everything else, including solid glass and stone roofs. Anyway, my days have come on the big roofs now. I find it too difficult, so that's the last. We're not ruling out the small roofs, but as far as the big roofs go, I'm done. And we've had a couple of long days, and it's taken me 2.5 weeks to do this project because of rain, extreme heat. You know, you're in the Arctic here and things get a little weird and you have to work with Mother Nature, and there's no point in fighting her. Anyway, that's the last roof of this year and the last big roof. Is it the last roof of this year? Because we've got a little project to do for ourselves. If I get time, there might be one more roof this year, but it'll be a smaller one. So thank you all for watching. I really appreciate it. I'm going to do something I don't normally do, and that's give a couple of people some shout outs. So first of all, my middle daughter. A couple of weeks ago she turned 21, and yesterday I watched her graduate from university. So a massive congratulations to her for her achievements and for walking into what can only be described as potentially her dream job. So well done. The other shout out is to the new owner of this beautiful farm in which I'm stood on, Rende. He's a very long way away at the moment, away from his family, certainly away from here. Did that have anything to do with me? Might have done. Anyway, looking forward to his return. Congratulations to him for passing the first of a series of important tests that are going to be crucial to his ability to be able to live here. And we look forward to seeing you soon. Thank you all for watching. Very much appreciate it. Bye for now.